Bear down, Bears fans. Today we're going to preview the Chicago Bears Detroit Lions game, and it starts right now. If you are new to the channel, please like the video, please subscribe to the page because we do talk Chicago sports weekly. We don't want you to miss a thing, so make sure that you hit that bell. Also, want to give a fine shout out to the fine people over at Martinelli Originals. They're the people to give us these lovely Chicago sports logo heads. Make sure to check them out in the description below to see how you can get your own. Now, game preview, Bears versus Lions. Game one, Bears come home with the W in that one by the skin of their teeth, but coming home with the W in that one nonetheless. This is actually a matchup that Mitchell Trubisky has succeeded in, and he has been named the starter. But there's a caveat. Mitch has had his best time versus the Lions under Matt Patricia. And Matt Patricia is no longer in Detroit. Now, this Bears team is not coming off of a great showing defensively or offensively versus the Packers. Hopefully that has more of a positive push than a negative push, but this is a game that actually concerns me a lot. This is a game that I look at and I see a Detroit Lions team who, while missing their best weapon in Kenny Golladay, is honestly probably feeling a little bit better. From all reports that I'm hearing coming out of Detroit is that Matt Patricia basically ran a compound. Anything that was remote to the word fun was not allowed to be had there. It was very, secure and tight. And so I feel like this Detroit Lions team is going to come out playing very loose, and if the Bears are not prepared, they can be down in this game big, just like they were down in that Packers game. The key thing to me is going to be really just getting to Matthew Stafford. I mean, we basically saw no pass rush last week from the Chicago Bears team, and it really affected everything falling back. Listen, Kyle Fuller is a dominant cornerback, but you have to help him out with some pass rush up front. He's not a guy who's going to stand in front of you and shadow that guy the entire field and just keep him blanketed. He's not that guy, but he's a guy that if you give him that pass rush, if you force that quarterback to put that ball out a little quicker than was expected, he can fly to that ball. He can make a play on that ball. Same with most of the guys behind you on this team. I mean, I think we can all agree that even some of the best in the world would struggle with zero pass rush, and the Chicago Bears have put up zero pass rush. Hey, Robert Quinn, how about you do anything? I mean, I honestly forgot he was on the field last week until he came out of nowhere and put that hit on. I don't even remember who it was. Was that Valdes-Scantling? Is that who that was last week? I mean, it doesn't matter. You basically weren't on the field. So the Chicago Bears have to generate a pass rush if they're going to want to come out of this game with any chance of getting a win. I mean, Matthew Stafford's not exactly Aaron Rodgers standing back there, but he's no slouch either. He can get the job done versus you for sure. Like I said, without Kenny Golladay, his best weapon is going to be a little bit tougher. But if you don't get a pass rush to him and you allow him to stand back there, he'll be able to pick you apart. Now, that's something I can guarantee. So we have to be able to get to the quarterback here. Now, before I continue with the video, I want to know you guys' thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. How do you think the Chicago Bears game is going to finish? I'll let you know at the end of the video, and I'll be down in the comments talking with each of you. Now, when I look at the offensive side of the ball, I mean, did the offensive line play better without Mitch back there? Not really, but it looked better. He was able to move, which I think helped them a little bit, but the offensive line is still terrible, still one of the worst in the NFL. Mitchell Trubisky basically did not come back and become the savior of this team, and so there's going to have to be huge jumps on offense, and we need to see a full commitment to the run. I don't know what happened last week. We watched David Montgomery break off for a big run, and then it was like, we couldn't give the ball back to him anymore. Nagy said that when they were down 13-3 that they just couldn't run the ball anymore, and it's like, okay, well, that's still not that big of a deficit. Like, I don't understand why you couldn't run. I understand that right after that, Aaron Rodgers goes down the field, scores an easy touchdown, and it becomes 21. I mean, the score got out of hand quick in that Packers game. It was a whirlwind. But to me, you've got to make a commitment to David Montgomery. That is going to be the biggest thing, and you have to basically just go forward. I don't understand what all the side to side is with this team. Just go forward. They should beat Detroit. Detroit is a bad football team. This is a team that the Chicago Bears should beat. But if I were to go tell you that I fully believe sitting here that the Chicago Bears are going to go into Detroit, have an offensive game of dominance, finally give the defense that boost they're looking for, and now the defense is playing dominant yet again. I mean, I can't even paint that scenario for you. I'm not gonna lie to you. Now, do I think that it'll be a blowout like the week before? I don't believe that, but it's tough for me to pick the Bears in a winning situation here. I don't see the offense doing enough to get the job done. Honestly, the offense's only saving grace is that Matt Nagy and Bill Lazor seem to love to pass the ball as much as possible, and this is the 26th ranked pass defense, but we've made these lower pass defenses look like superstars when they play us, especially with this offensive line. And so I'm gonna be honest with you, for me to come in here and say that the Bears can come in and dog walk the Lions, I just can't do it. Now, my prediction for how this game is gonna finish, I see a 24-17 Detroit win. I do, and you hate to say it, but it's one of those things where this team is just not doing enough on either end of the field to get the job done. There's basically no pass rush on one side, and there's basically no offensive line to protect a quarterback so that he can make any sort of play on the other. And to me, I'm sorry, that spells a recipe for disaster. And I think that this could be the game that really marks this Bears team's future for the rest of this season. I mean, if they come out of here with a win, you finally break the streak. Maybe you go on a nice little streak. I mean, none of the defenses you're facing going forward are competitive pretty much at all. And so maybe you go on a little run going forward. I believe you have Houston after this game. But I want to know you guys' opinion, man. How do you guys think that the Chicago Bears game is going to end on Sunday? I'll be down in the comments talking with each and every one of you. Ladies and gentlemen, it is your boy Pat the Designer back at it again to continue watching our Chicago Bears content. Click the links here or check the links in the description below. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace.